Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a gift tag, faceted bead art gift tag, using the 1 needle stitch. Here is one created with faceted beads, which is what I will be using in the video. I've also created one using HO seed beads, in case you would prefer to use seed beads for your gift tag. Now here we have our pattern that I've created. The name on it is Deb, which is my daughter's nickname. And to make it easy for me to show you where we are and where we're going on the pattern, I have created a larger graph so I can write out. With the 1 needle stitch, you circle one way and then you circle another way. So just keep with me. I don't use this stitch a lot, so I am starting off with only 3 feet of string for this video. Now, one way that I do with the 1 needle stitch is I will take a piece of tape and put it in about 3 or 4 inches on my string, and that way your beads don't fall off as you begin beading. I'm also going to show you another technique that I thought of recently that would be also helpful. Now, for the piece that I am making today, I'm going to be using these 3 colors. The red and white will be for the candy cane. The green is going to be for the background, and then I plan to do the lettering in red. Now, when you do faceted bead art, you add or work with 4 beads at a time. So we're going to start with these 4 at the bottom. With the 1 needle, you always start here, and you can either add them in this direction or in this direction. We are going to add them in this direction. So we're going to add 4 beads. And here it'd be a red, a white, and then 2 greens. So we take the end of our string without the tape. We add a red. Oops, grabbed the white. Add a red, a white, and 2 greens. And we'll let them drop down to the tape. Now, if your beads are too small to tie a knot inside of them, then I recommend that you leave the tape on. The tape does get in the way a little bit for the first 3 rows, so that's why I recommend that if you can tie a knot inside your bead, which with faceted beads you can, I would take the string off, the tape off, which you just slide it right off. And then I would take and tie a knot, which I do a regular knot, and then I do, well, let's switch hands because it'll be easier with the short one, a double overhand, which means you go over twice and bring that down, but don't pull tight. For some reason this tape left some residue. I don't usually have that problem. And then you slip your string inside the first bead you added, which was the red one. And get your knot inside there. I'm going to have to use the longer string. slip it inside and then pull tight. And then using the longer string, we will continue our beading. Now we've added the first 4 beads. We've added the first 4 beads, and now it depends on what side of your piece your string is coming out of. Now if we'd gone the other direction, our string would be coming out on the right side, but with the direction we went, our string is coming out on the left side. So that means we are going to add these beads first. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need a white, 2 greens, and a white. And we'll go through the first bead that we added a second time in the same direction we went the first time. And there we have our first row and the beginning of our second row. That's these 4. And now, again, it depends on where our string is coming out. We are coming with our first row to the right and our new beads to the bottom. Our string is coming out on the left side. So, or I should say it's coming away from our first row. So that means we want to start over here, away. So we want 1 and then 2 to add. So we're going to add a red and then a white. And as all circles include 4 beads, that means you will go through some of the beads that you already have. And what you want is you want to go through, see your string is coming out this bead. So you're going to want to go through this bead in this direction towards the bead that your string is coming out of. And then you also want to go through this bead that your string is coming out of. And there you have your next set of beads. Now you want to be coming out of this top bead here, so you can add your next set of beads. So you'll go through this side bead and the top bead. So through the side bead and then the top bead. And we'll turn ours to the finished row is to the right. Now our string is coming in towards our finished row, so that means we want to start on this side. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3 beads. And that'll be a green, followed by a red. And like I said, as we are working with 4 bead circles, we want to go through the bead that our string is coming out of. And there are 4 beads for that. Now we are on the same side as our previous row, so we want to work our way around so that we're on the opposite side of the previous row. So we will go through the 3 beads we just added. So that we are now on the side of the to add the new row. There. So we've added these 3 beads. Now we're coming out of this bead here, and we are coming down. Our string is coming down along our row, so we're going to want to come down. So the next 4 set of beads we want to add will be 1, 2, 3. So here's the bead we're adding, and we're adding these 3, so we want a white, a red, and a white. And now we've added 3 beads, so we need to go through our 4th bead, which is the bead our string is coming out of. You want to go in the same direction, so it's coming out the same side it's already coming out of. And now we need to add these 3 beads at the beginning of our pattern, or row. So what we're going to have to do is work around so we can add those. So as we're coming down, we want to be coming up so we can add those 3 beads. So we need to work our way through these 3 back to the top so we can add the top 3 beads of this row. And we are coming out of the top bead on the same side as our previous row, so we want to start over here. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, and that will be 2 greens and a red. And that we added 3 beads, so we need to go through the 4th one, which is the bead that our string is coming out of. Always make sure to go through your beads in the direction that your string is already going through them. And now we want to get to the end of our row. We're at the beginning, we want to get to the end, so we're going to go through this side bead and then the end bead here. And we are ready to add the next 2 beads. Now our string is coming away from our previous row, so that means we will want to add 1 and then 2. So both of them are going to be green. We will add 1, 2, and then as we want 4 beads, we've added 2. we want to go through this side bead and then the bead that our string is coming out of. There we've added. Now we want to be at the top, so we're going to go through the 2 beads we just added again. And as we are coming now in towards our completed row, we want to go through this side bead on the finished row because it will be part of our 4 bead set. There we are. Turn it this way. Actually goes this way. We're coming down the row. So we've added these 2 here. And now, because we are on the side of our completed row, we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to add 1 and then 2. And again, they are both green. So on our long string, we will add 2. And as we need 4 beads, we're going to go through the top bead of our current row and the side bead that our string is coming out of. And then we need to be on the top, so we'll go through the 1 bead that puts us in the top of our row. And now we're ready for the last 3 beads. Now we are coming away from our completed rows. So we want to start on this side and we'll go 1, 2, 3. In this case, they're all green. And we want to go through our top bead, going in the same direction as the string is already going through it. And there we are, completing our 3rd row. Now we want to be coming out the side bead so we can start our next row. So we will just go through the side bead, this, and as we're at the bottom, we'll just turn it so we match the pattern. And we are coming out towards the end of our row. We're coming out this bead here, so we're going to add 1, 2, 3, and they will all be green. And like I said, as we're working with 4 bead sets, you want to find the bead that your string is coming out of because we've added 3. And you want to go through it in the same direction the string is already coming through it. And then we want to go through this top bead here. and we want to add the 3 beads that is the top tip of the row we're working on. Our string is coming away from our previous row, so we are going to add 1, 2, 3. And they are going to be added these 3. We're adding these 3, so where they're going to be all green. And as we've added 3, we want to go through the bead that our string is coming out of, so in the same direction. And there we've added the top of our pattern. So now we want to get back down here to the tip of our row. So we go through the side bead and this bead here. And as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we also want to go through this one side bead, which will be part of our next 4 set. Now we're up here again. We're coming out this side bead here, so we're going to add 1 and 2. And in this case, they will both be green. We want, as we've only added 2, we want to go through 2, so we want to go through the tip bead of our row and the side bead that our string is coming out of. And then we want to be going through the tip, so we want to go through the first bead we just added. And now we're coming out and away from our finished row, so we want to add 1, 2, which means we need white and then green. And we'll go through, we want 4, so we'll go through the side bead that is part of this set and the bead that our string is coming out of. And then we want to go through both of the beads we just added, so we are coming out the top of our row. And as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we will also go through the side bead that is a part of this set. And we will add our beads in this direction. So we need a white and then a green. And we will go through the top bead of our row and the side bead that our string is coming out of. Then we'll go through the first bead we just added, and our string is coming away from our finished rows. So we add 1, 2, which is red and white. We'll go through the side bead that is part of this set and the top bead, which our string is coming out of. And now we want to get to the top bead, so we'll go through both beads we just added. Now we're ready to add the last 3 beads, and we're on the side of our finished rows. So we're going to add in this order: 1, 2, 3. And in this case they are all green, so we want 3 green beads. And then we will go through the top bead that our string is coming out of. And now our next row begins the top, so it's actually termed shorter than the row we're on. So what we need to do is come out the second side beads. 1, 2, second side bead. So side beads, we want to come out this red one here. So our string is over here. We need to go through 1, 2, 3 beads to get, so we're coming out the second side red or side bead. And so we want to go down away from the beads we just added, out, so we're on the outside of our work, and then up through the second bead, and there we are in place to begin our next row. And as we're coming out the top of our side bead, we are going to want to start up here and go 1, 2, 3. So we need a white, a red, and a white. And we will go through the bead our string is coming out of in the same direction. And now we're at the top of our pattern, so we want to come to the bottom of our row here. So we'll go through all 3 beads that we just added. And as we are coming out that bead on the same side as our finished row, we will go through this first side bead, which is part of the next 4 beads we'll be working with. And as we are on the side of our finished rows, we are going to be adding 1, 2, which means we need a red and then a white. We'll add a red and then a white, and we will go through the top bead of our row, which is part of this 4 set, and the side bead that our string is coming out of, and then go through our new top bead. And as we're coming away from our completed rows this time, we're going to add 1, 2. And we'll need 2 whites for that one. And we will go through the side bead that is part of this 4 set and the bead our string is coming out of. Then we will go through the 2 beads we just added to get to the top of our row. And as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we will go through the side bead. And we will add from this direction this time. And so we need a green and a green. We'll go through the top bead of this set and the side bead that our string is coming out of. And then we'll go through the first bead we just added, which is now the top of our pattern. Now our string is coming away from our finished rows, so we're going to add 1 and then 2. And they're both going to be green. I think this will be the last 2 I will add. So what we will do is we will go through the side bead that is part of this set and the top bead. So we have our 4 set. And then instead of going around to get ready to add more beads, we'll actually thread back. And what we want to do is we want to weave back and forth for 3 center beads. And the center beads is the one inside here between your side beads. So we went through here, then we went through a center bead, then we'll go through this side bead, and then another center bead, and then this side bead, and center, and then we will go back the direction we came from, going through side bead, and center, side bead, and center, and then side bead, and we're back where we began, so we can clip off the excess. And then we also want to do the string on the other end. Now this one, because it's on the end, you won't be able to do it all in one row, so I actually go in towards my pattern for this. So we turn it, and the center beads are now here going this direction, so we'll go through 3 of those. That's 1 center bead, 2 center beads, and 3, and then we'll go back the way we came, one, once we reach the end, we will clip off the excess, and there we have the beginning. We have most of our candy cane done of our pattern, and I will show you how to begin it with a new string in the next video and continue. See you then.